Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Good to have you with us today. The Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio kicks off its annual Lead Diversity class in September. Director of Programs and co-facilitator of the Lead Diversity Program, Kristen Duvernay, is here with program graduate Marcus Martin, and they're going to talk about the benefits of Lead Diversity Program and how to apply. Later on, Marcella Boyd-Cox and Mia Rivers of Top Ladies of Distinction will tell us about a walk and a free breast cancer screening hosted by their organization. And on the broadcast after that, Karamu's artistic director, Terrence Spivey, and actor-director, Mississippi Charles Bevel, will be here to share information about Karamu's upcoming theater season. Good morning, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb. Good to have you with us. Kaleidoscope, we call ourselves, and so we begin. Beginning right now with Kristen Duvernay, Director of Programs and co-facilitator for its Lead Diversity Program of the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio, and Marcus Martin, who's a graduate of that program. Good to have you with us. Let's begin with you, Kristen. What is the Diversity Center? What does the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio try to do?
Well, the Diversity Center's mission is to eliminate bias, bigotry, and racism here in Northeast Ohio, which we understand is a pretty daunting task.
It is.
We've been operating since 1927 within Northeast Ohio, trying to accomplish this goal, and we do that a variety of different ways, and the Lead Diversity Program is one of those ways.
One of those ways. Well, you kind of set us up. What is the Lead Diversity Program?
The Lead Diversity Program is a cohort that we have each year. It starts in September and it ends in June. And this is a collection of leaders throughout different organizations. We have nonprofits, we have governmental entities, we have corporations, schools, things of that nature. And this is about 30 to 35 folks from those organizations that come together. They spend one day a month together in a pretty intensive session learning about diversity and inclusion and the benefits personally as well as professionally and for their organization.
And seated at your right elbow is one of the graduates of this program, Marcus Martin. Marcus, how are you today?
I'm doing well today, Leon. How are you?
I'm just fine. I'm just fine. Tell me how this program helped you. What did you get out of it? You graduated from the Lead Diversity Program.
I did, and you know, I think the program absolutely exceeded my expectations. I went in probably not fully understanding what I was getting myself into, but what I found that it did for me was it opened me up to different areas of diversity. So as a black man, we think a lot about race when we think about diversity, but this opened me up to class, it opened me up to religion, it opened me up to sexual orientation, and I really felt like I grew over the 9 months or so that we were together.
You're the Senior Vice President for Small Business Products over at Key Bank.
Yes, sir.
Does this Lead Diversity Program help you in your everyday job and in your everyday life?
I think absolutely. You know, from a professional standpoint, you know, my job is to make sure that we've got the right set of products out there for small business owners, regardless of race, religion, or whatnot. And sometimes that means you have to tweak your offerings to make sure that they accommodate the different types of ownerships. And then in my life, I mean, every day I'm always going to be a minority of some sort. So how do you deal with those situations and do it comfortably?
Each of us is a minority somewhere.
Yep.
Somewhere where each of us is a minority. Kristen, tell me about this program. Now it's open for anybody to get in this program.
Absolutely. There is an application process, and of course we need to make sure that folks can make that commitment each month to spend that day with us, because each of the sessions really do build on each other, and we need to make sure that the organization also supports their employee attending those sessions.
Give me an idea of some of the things that take place at these sessions.
Wow. We have sessions that actually travel throughout Northeast Ohio. So, for example, we have a session that occurs at the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage, and we talk to folks from a variety of religious backgrounds and talk about religious oppression and how religion plays into how we relate to other folks, how we relate to ourselves, and how we function in the workplace. We also have a session where we visit with Mayor Frank Jackson and some other council folks and tour different Cleveland neighborhoods to get an idea of different resources and things of that nature, and meet with local leaders. We also do a session at Hale Farm where we do an Underground Railroad simulation, and we talk about systemic and historic oppression of marginalized groups and how that plays into how we relate with each other.
Marcus, why do you see this as vital, especially in our community? We're a very diverse community here in Northeast Ohio. How do you see this as being vital to helping the entire community, not just you, but the entire community?
It's vital because diversity is important, Leon. And it's important in both in your personal life and in your corporate life. And while we may be a diverse community, there are still pockets within that diversity, right? And I think where I live is a perfect example of that in Shaker. It's a diverse community, you know, you hear, but there's a railroad track, literally, that seems to separate that diversity. And I think going through courses like this, understanding about diversity, really forces you to think about where are the similarities amongst us that we can reach over the aisle and grab one another and actually grow as individuals. And I think that's why diversity is important, and it's all about gaining a new experience so that you can better yourself as an individual.
Not only reach over the aisle, but reach across the railroad track.
Reach across the railroad track.
The rapid transit track.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
That's right.
What's it cost to participate, and are you still taking people in for? And this is a year-long commitment.
It will run. Our first session will be September 30th, and the last one will be graduation in June.
And are you still squeezing people in?
We're still squeezing folks in. We do have a pretty hefty group of applicants right now, but we have not begun assessing those applicants yet, so we can definitely still accept new applications.
And the cost?
It'll be $1,800.
And oftentimes corporations will cover the cost of this, or your company will cover the cost of this.
Yes, so there are different ways that we could help to supplement those costs, typically the organization.
Phone numbers on the screen where you can get more information. It is 216-752-3000, or you can go to diversitycenterneo.org. Diversity Center NEO, that NEO meaning Northeast Ohio. Certainly, diversitycenterneo.org, or 752-3000 in the 216 area code. Kristen Duvernay, Director of Programs and Co-Facilitator for Lead Diversity, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Marcus Martin, a graduate of the program and an employee of Key Bank. Thanks for being with us, too.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having us. Appreciate our having you on the broadcast, I should say.
We appreciate you guys having us.
Absolutely.
It is my pleasure. Coming up next, the local organization hosts free breast cancer screenings. We'll talk about that after we do this first. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us. The Cleveland chapter of Top Ladies of Distinction hosts the annual Pink Fantasy Ball in September to raise funds for scholarships. Its first vice president, Marcella Boyd Cox, is here on the right, and a member of the organization, Mia Rivers, is also here to talk about the event and talk about a walk and free breast cancer screening taking place in October at the Maple Heights Library. Good to have you with us, Marcella and Mia.
Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. My pleasure. Always good to have you with us. Remind us about the Top Ladies of Distinction, what the organization tries to do here in Cleveland.
The Top Ladies of Distinction, our mission is to improve and enhance the quality of life for the community we serve through national and community-based programs and projects.
And you stay involved all the time because there's always something to do.
Yes, we have our Top Teens of America, who we really try to mentor them and, you know, bring them to be great adults.
Your first event that I know you want to talk about, why don't we take them in order? You got something coming up in September the 26th on a Friday. Mia, what is that? Tell me about that.
It's our Pink Fantasy Ball. Marcella Boyd Cox is our chairperson. It's to raise funds for our top teens so that they can receive funds to go to college and, you know, make sure they can be a better citizen in society. It's a very, very large fundraiser for our youth, and we just need everyone to help us and encourage them to continue to go forward.
I see that you're going to have that at Tizano's Party Center. That's on Friday, September the 26th, 1361 East 260th Street in Euclid. And people can buy tickets for this. This helps you do what you do, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Tickets are $45?
Yeah, donation is $45. And we're going to start that evening about 7 o'clock in the evening. Going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. This is vital. This keeps you doing what you're doing, providing help for the organization to do the civic projects that you've been doing all along. Yeah. Okay. And you got a free breast cancer screening coming up too. Very vital. September Saturday, October the 11th. Tell me about that Walk for the Cause.
Under our first vice president and our president, we, a couple of the new ladies who joined the organization, felt befitting to have a breast cancer walk in October to honor all those survivors from breast cancer. It's called Walk for the Cause, and the cause is to find the cure. And we're going to walk in Maple Heights, starting at the Maple Heights Library. We're going to walk a mile and come back. We're going to also have breast cancer screening through the Cleveland Clinic. And if you cannot get the screening, we're going to sign you up and to have the screening. It's very imperative that we as African American women get screened early. Early detection means that we can prolong your life. African American women are more likely to die from cancer, breast cancer, because they don't get screening properly and in a timely fashion.
So, Mia, we're trying to raise some money and at the same time raise awareness of the situation too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Marcella, that's one of the things you've been here with us several times talking about the top ladies of distinction. That's one of the things that this organization's always tried to do is raise awareness on a lot of issues out in the community.
Right, like the March of Dimes. Our teens are involved with the March of Dimes. We were just involved with a virtual walk where all of our members donated and we raised a significant amount of money for March of Dimes. You know, our teens are also involved at Christmas time with Fairfax, the nursing home. We host a Christmas party for the residents there. So we try to give back. That's our mission, to give back and to volunteer. We really try to encourage the volunteerism.
And you keep that community partnership aspect of it.
Oh, that's so important. In fact, that's one of our programs, the community partnership, along with our seniors, our status of women.
So that's one of the reasons it's not only a social group, Mia, but it's also a group that is very civic-minded and oriented toward solving problems in our community.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's right. That's a great way to put it. We are committed to improving the quality of life.
Okay. Now, how can people find more information on all of this now? Is there a place that they can call?
Okay, so the number you can reach us at is 216-410-4120. You can call there for tickets for our dance or even for information about the walk. Okay,
that's a phone number of 216. We got that on the screen, I see. 410-4120. 216-410-4120.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you on the broadcast, Marcella.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Always good to see you, Marcella Boyd Cox and Mia Rivers. Good to have you as well, too.
Thank you.
Tell everybody, the top ladies of distinction, we said hi.
Absolutely.
Sure will. God bless.
Wonderful, wonderful organization, and glad to have you on the broadcast. I'm going to take a break right now. In a moment, we'll talk about Karamu's theaters, Karamu's upcoming season at the Karamu Theater. I'm Leon Bibb. I'll be back in just a second. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. Karamu's artistic director, Terrence Spivey, is here, and so is actor-director Mississippi Charles Bevel. They're here to tell us about Karamu's upcoming season, which opens on September the 19th. The opening production, It Ain't Nothing But the Blues, directed by Mississippi Charles Bevel, seated on the left. Good to have you here, Mississippi Charles.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. And always good to see you, Terrence Spivey,
thank you.
artistic director. You've got a full season getting ready for once the curtain goes up in September.
That's right. That's right. We're excited, Leon. This season we're going into our centennial in 2015, so we thought it was best to make sure that we're going right into it with this season here, 2014-15 season. We're opening with It Ain't Nothing But the Blues. I call him SIP, Mississippi Charles Bevel. I've known him since when I was living in New York. And he's also directing the piece, and I'm very excited that he's doing that. And we're also going to open with, in October, One Monkey Don't Stop No Show by Don Evans. Yeah. Now, Don Evans was an artistic director of Karamu back in the 80s.
So you've got, it's kind of like a homecoming.
Yes, it's all in the family. That's the thing.
It's all in the family. Well, before we go down the rest of the list, let's bring in Charles Bevel into this. How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing great.
It is good to see you, my friend. I've seen you many, many times on the stage at Karamu, and then you went away to New York and did all of that, and now you're back. Telling me about this. It Ain't Nothing But the Blues. And I'll hold
it is a piece that it's a 400-year history of black music in America. We start in Africa and make it maybe up through the 60s, and it's a piece that was co-written by myself and 4 other people in Denver, Colorado. And we made it to Broadway with the piece. We got 4 Tony nominations, and when I was asked to come back to Karamu to direct it, I was very excited. See, most people don't realize I got into theater at the age of 48, up in East Cleveland, as a matter of fact. A year later, I came to Karamu, and that's where I learned what I needed to learn. And as a matter of fact, the first piece I performed in Karamu was a piece by Langston Hughes, Simply Heavenly, that was directed by Bill Cobbs.
Yeah,
who came out
going
of
on to Hollywood and done a lot of Hollywood stuff.
So it was just one of those synergistic things, and so here I am.
You're going to have your guitar with you, because you're usually playing the guitar on
Well,
stage.
now, I'm not going to be on stage in this one.
Well, you need to be on stage, John. Well, when you're a director, you got a lot going. But he brings such value to us, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
When whether he's on the stage with the guitar or directing from the wings of the stage.
Exactly. Right? That's what's so good about, you know, I've always wanted to do something like this, and bring in guest artists, but guest artists who are alums.
Right.
You definitely bring a lot of grit and a lot of experience in life, working with the local artist.
And so he's going to be directing It Ain't Nothing But the Blues.
Yes.
And by the way, it's in mid-September, September 16th, 17th, 18th, right?
Yes, and it opens on the 19th. We have previews now.
Yeah, and by the way, I'll put a phone number on the screen there. You can get tickets by calling 216-795-7070, or you can go to karamuhouse.org. And Karamu House located at East 89th Street and Quincy Avenue on Southeast Cleveland. So we talked about Ain't Nothing But the Blues. One Monkey Don't Stop No Show. You got Leap of Faith,
a movie version, remember, with Steve Martin, and we're playing with the philosophy of what Karamu was known for with the Jellips and the Silvers.
Yeah.
It's going to be an integrated cast, and Jonas Nightingale is going to be of color.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a wonderful piece directed by Richard Morris. And One Monkey, by the way, One Monkey Don't Stop No Show is directed by Michael Oatman, our playwright in residence.
Right, exactly. And we've had him on the broadcast talking about that.
Yes. And Black History Month, we have Joe Turner's Coming Gone.
Right.
That was a salute to Bill Cobbs and Anthony Chisholm, Earl Billings, a lot of the actors who've done a lot of his works. And the Mighty Scarabs, local playwright Cornell Calhoun, the Mighty Scarabs we're doing, of course, at East Tech.
Now that's about East Tech. When East Tech was I don't want to say was, because it still is. East Tech, certainly when I was growing up, was a powerhouse for basketball, and the Mighty Scarabs, and that's down there at the bottom there.
Yes, and they're definitely going to be champions on stage in March 2015.
And after that, you've got
the Wiz. The Wiz, people don't know that the late Gilbert Moses, who was a Karamu alum, he was the director pre-Broadway for the Wiz, before he went on to Broadway with Geoffrey Holder. So he was the one that really made that happen. They followed his blueprint on Broadway.
Charles, all of this is vital stuff, isn't it? We need theater in our lives, don't we?
It is. And to me, theater is a part of art, one of the most dynamic art forms. And art, to me, is about not so much about entertainment, it's about showing us the contradictions in our lives. You know, I look at it this way: entertainment makes us feel good. Art is what you need to heal, whether you're talking about community issues, personal issues. It is art that we turn to get people to look at themselves.
And a lot of times we can drive a point home with art.
Absolutely.
You can touch people's hearts with art that on a real big social issue. And of course, Karamu grew out. It still grows out of social issues.
Yeah, and one of the things about art, about theater in particular, you can discuss or present the things that you can't discuss at home, that you can't discuss at church, you can't discuss at school, you can't discuss at work, but in the theater, that is the sanctuary for the soul, where you can come and hear and hear or see what you normally would not be able to see and hear.
And that's what the Jellips had in mind when they established Karamu Theater back in, what year was it established?
Just 1915.
1915. So it is coming up on its 100th anniversary.
Yes.
And you know I support Karamu. I love Karamu Theater.
Yes.
Just a wonderful place.
Yes.
216-795-7070. You can get more information on everything we're talking about, and you can order your tickets that way and go to karamuhouse.org and you'll get more information. Terrence Spivey is the artistic Artistic Director, and Mississippi Charles Bevel. Good to see you back in town, Mississippi Charles.
Thank you.
Mississippi Charles Bevel. He's the actor and director at Karamu, and he's going to be directing Ain't Nothing But the Blues, because that is the show enough truth.
That's
Ain't
it.
Nothing But the Blues. Thank you, gentlemen. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a break. Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League after this. When you see that graphic, the Morning Exchange, you know it's Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, one of our partners on this program. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, my friend, as always. You know, Leon, I was honored recently at the National Urban League Convention to receive a Woman of Power and Influence Award. And you know, as I've been reflecting on that, one of the things that I took away from that is that it's now my responsibility to reach back, because all of our guests today have sort of been talking about reaching back and helping in the community and healing the community and all those kinds of things. So as I'm thinking about now my responsibility with receiving such a prestigious award, I'm really looking at how do I help to encourage, influence, and help to empower other women to become women of power and influence in this community.
Well, congratulations first on the award, but in many ways you are a role model, and you can look to help them do that by simply doing what you do, and they look at you and see what you do, and you say, well, come walk with me then. That kind of a thing. And
Absolutely.
We are blessed to have you doing what you do over the Urban League. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, this woman took the Urban League at a really tough time a few years ago and really made an impact and helped turn that organization around. And that's a testament to your ability and the ability of the staff that you have kept around you, because I know you've worked 24/7. For 365
Absolutely.
times 7 years.
You know, it's more like 24/8, Leon.
to turn it around, to make it really viable.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we do have a great staff, as you said. And I think when women ask me, so what has kept you? What has helped you to move forward? I said, you know, an incredible faith that, you know, I'm not doing this alone, and that I have to keep my eye on what I believe the future can be, not necessarily what the present looks like right now.
In our final 10 seconds, you're keeping your eyes on the prize.
Absolutely. Okay. Every day.
Aren't we all?
Every day.
Many thanks, Marsha Maccabee. That's going to do it for us. Eyes on the prize. Take care.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.